everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another one of my course vlogs. Now this time we're back out here at Morongo's Tuckwit Canyon. We're playing the back nine on the Legends course today. If you're looking for the front nine, link is in the description below. And if you're new to the channel, please click subscribe down below. I'd love to have you back here week after week. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as well, as I'd love to know you're out there and I'd love to know that you like this kind of video. Let's head on out there to the 10th hole. It's a long par 5. Here we go. Now there's the halfway hut, a glorious stop which is necessary out here. There is no returning to the clubhouse until we're all the way done here on the Legends course. Now this par 5 10th will play parallel with the 9th. You're just continuing along this road, and boy, it generally plays straight into the wind. A long par 5 because of that wind. It's got a big, generous landing area here that's much wider than it looks from the tee. From the tee, it looks like just a narrow, straight shot. Now, all the trouble on this hole is up near the green here as the fairway rises and splits into two sections here, left and right of the centerline bunkers. Up on the right is the better angle, but man, is there almost no fairway to work with. If you're going to lay it up, the left-hand side is probably your best option. Now, I lost this tee shot just a little bit right visually, but like I said, these fairways are wide, a lot wider than it looks off the tee. A full 4-iron here, hoping I can get it to the front of the green, but I just turned it over a little bit too much. Landed on the left half of those fairways, and it was just up here by the greenside bunker. A little flop shot over the bunker here. These greens are really fast, and this ball just kicked out, kept on rolling all the way off the green. A long 30-foot birdie putt here. We're just trying to lag it up close for the par putt. We just want to avoid the big numbers. 6 or more is nothing I like to see on the card, so par is the maximum score I'd love on a par 5. Now here, the most difficult par 4 on the back nine. We're still playing straight into that normal wind that you're going to see out here in the afternoon, and this is just as narrow as it looks off the tee. Those trees down the right are really going to pinch this landing area. You can see it's just a 15 or 20 yards wide here past those carts, and coming into the green, it looks just on the same as the last hole. Luckily, this is relatively flat around the green. Those bunkers will effectively make the green blind as the big flares from those fairway bunkers will hide the front of the green. Went back to the cut off the tee here, playing it out over the brush area there on the left and right back into the middle of the fairway. Now a full 9-iron here from 160 yards. I luckily caught this morning before any wind kicked up. Oh man, that was a godsend to be able to play out here with no wind. We were pin high, 30 feet to the left. And these greens are very pure. They are fast, but man, when greens are pure like this, it's very easy to see your lines and make your putts. Just make sure you take that extra second to line up these short ones, and they always seem to go in the hole. The first par 3 on the back nine is quite possibly the most difficult on the entire golf course. Because of that normal wind, this 215-yard par 3 is going to play even longer. Over the ravine and gigantic deep bunkers on the left is everything you need to avoid on this kind of a long hole. Now just a little turnover with the 7-iron. I thought I nailed this perfectly, but it ended up in that left-hand bunker. Hard packed sand in here. It only gets raked every now and then, but you can get a good shot out of it. The ball rolled out a little bit more than I liked, and it's here 15 feet away for par. Can't quite make it happen. It's always those par 3s that tend to get me. Another bogey on a par 3, and we're on to lucky number 13. Two gorgeous par 4s here on the next two holes, starting with the 13th here. It just slowly wraps around the hill and all the way up towards the green. A good 10-yard adjustment in total on this hole. It's going to play about 6 to 7 yards up from the middle of the fairway. Now, because it is so far up from the middle, the only thing you're going to see is that big false front on the right, the bunker on the left, and the flag hanging somewhere in the middle. Today, it's a bullseye pin right in the middle. Now, that noise you hear in the background is a gigantic freight train. I couldn't tell how many cars long that thing was, and I couldn't wait any longer to hit, so it was what it was. A smooth gap wedge here into this flag, 125 up the hill, played 130, and that's just how far this club likes to go. It landed nearly close to the hole and spun back appropriately underneath the hole, 25 feet, and that was just a terrible putt. I mean, it's a birdie putt. You gotta get it to the hole, man. A 2-putt par, and we're on to 14. 420 yards off the tee, and this is a awesome little par 4. Now, off the tee, make sure you hit as much as you can, as you want to get it down to where these carts are around the first nook on the right-hand side. You see the fairway opens up wide to the right, but the farther over you are, the more blind your approach shot is. Make sure you catch a line on the flag location for the day and hit your shot correctly over that blind ridge. Today, it's as deep as it can get, all the way back in the back right. Now, another smooth cut off the tee. It just didn't quite cut enough to get back into the fairway. I had these big trees in front of me to deal with, and my 150-yard pitching wedge, I was playing this just to the center of the green. Got a little bit more out of it as I tried to launch it over the trees and sent it really all the way back pin high. 15 feet for birdie. I just can't sit over these putts patiently. The putter was not my friend today. Now, the last of these trio of par 4s, the 15th here, is a little bit shorter than the most of the par 4s here on the golf course. That centerline bunker, though, is all the trouble you really need, as this par 4 will climb the hill all the way up towards the green, making all the approach shots blind, whether you're left or right of that bunker. You're best off just over the bunker, leaving yourself about 75 yards up the hill. It is treacherous, though, in between those two bunkers, especially with this front hole location. Now, another cut that just did not cut, so I'm going to learn from that on the next tee box as we're heading into a par 5, and I need to take advantage. A smooth lob wedge here from 85 yards, landed right on the hole and spun just enough for me. Finally, we're under 10 feet, and I should be able to knock these in. Man, when you see 25 to 30-foot birdie putts and finally you get a 10-footer or less, I've got to take advantage. Speaking of taking advantage, it's time for a par 5. That bunker is not in play for me, but it might be for a lot of other golfers. Avoid it at all costs off the tee to give yourself a chance at birdie on this par 5. I'm going to send it right over the bunker, hopefully down into this super wide landing area here, short of the cart path. The cart path is about 210 yards, I think, from the green. And as we approach it here, man, you really got to stay off to the right-hand side unless you want to challenge those big, deep bunkers. Luckily, when we get to the green, there's no more sand to deal with, but it is sitting a little bit elevated up here on the hill, and those trees you saw on the left will protect any shots that are really trying to cut the corner. Finally reared back and shot the draw down there, slinging it out to the right and curling it all the way down the left-hand side of this hole. A big tee shot, leaving myself only a 5-iron into this green, and it was a thin shot and didn't quite fly all the way there. Out here in Morongo, they really have a lot of fertilizer in the rough, making the rough very grabby and thick. Did not hit a great chip shot there, nor did I hit a great putt. Another one where I really didn't have any confidence with the putter today, to be honest. A comfy tap-in par to remain 2 under par as we have 2 holes to play. The last par 3 of the day here is going to play over the canyon from all the tee boxes, and it's just a little tiny green sitting between 2 deep bunkers. That whole location, though, boy, is it treacherous up on the hill. Now, a smooth 9-iron should go about 160 yards for me, and it landed in the middle of the green and took the hill severely all the way back to the edge. I'm trying to get this up to the hole, and I just couldn't hit it hard enough. You can see that ball actually rolled back towards me in the last 6 inches. Here, 8 feet up the hill for par. You gotta hit an aggressive putt. And it's 2 putts in a row. I just never got the ball there. A terrible 3-putt bogey. We're only 1 under par, and we got 1 hole to play. Luckily, I just found that turnover draw with the driver off the tee, and this hole sets up perfectly. That left-hand bunker is going to be your primary hazard off the tee. Avoid it at all costs. It is so deep down in there. And if you're over to the right, well, you're going to see that coming into the green, we finally have some water to deal with on this golf course. That lake is all the trouble you need coming into this par 4. And of course, another deep bunker protecting the left, making this one of the most precise approach shots you have to hit on the entire golf course. Now sending it out over the edge of the mountain range and turning it over the bunker. That was a absolutely perfect tee shot. A smooth sand wedge here. It should go about 120 yards in the air. It flew just on the pin, spinning 10 feet back right to the front of the green. Another makeable birdie chance here for me, but I just couldn't convert.
Hey, thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you again next time. Later.